Here you go, just going to ask some questions here. Why is transparency such a dirty word? I would think we would all want transparency from everybody equally. So why ask for transparency from some and not from others? Last question. Is it because if things were transparent, we would see things they don't want us to see? Hi there, I'm going to ask you to think back maybe 15 or 25 years ago. Do you remember how important a mall was? It was where you could find just about anything and everyone. So right now, do you still use malls, or do you just pick up your phone and order everything you need from online? Viewer Don wrote us about the state of our local mall, now called the Shops at Palm Desert. I was at the Palm Desert Mall today in the food court. There were 2 stores that were closed. The businesses have been there 30 years. A month ago, the food court finally had no vacancies. There are other mall stores that are closed as well. Also, the Macy's backstage is closing soon. Don went on to say that according to mall employees, the mall owner is raising rents to unsustainable levels that businesses can't afford. Sounds like a no-win situation. Now, we can't say whether the rent is too high, but we can say that the mall's vacancy rate in the fourth quarter of 2025, and that's the big retail push time, 9%, slightly higher than the citywide average of 8.3%. If you head over to the premium shopping district in El Paseo, they're sitting at a 6.1 vacancy rate, significantly outperforming anything else around. See, it used to be that everyday Americans flocked to malls not only to shop but to socialize. Now it seems like only the high-end stores, like the ones on El Paseo, are buzzing with high-end clientele, while our everyday malls are slowly dying out. Contributors tonight from Desert Sotheby's International Realty, Realtor Nick Collins, and the CEO of Barton CPA, Chauncey Thompson. Nick, we're losing malls every year. Reports indicate that up to 87% of large malls are at risk of closing over the next decade. What is going on? Why is the American mall on its last leg?
We all know. I'm surprised you still have malls open altogether. I mean, the only reason you go to the mall now is to cool off in the air conditioning. Everything's online. Amazon has dominated. Now every store has an online service, free shipping, easy returns. Why would you go back to the archaic mall when you can live like a king at home? Chauncey?
I agree with you, Nick. In some instances, you can purchase the name brand items from Amazon, get it to you for less than what the mall's going to charge you for. But, you know, there's nothing better than going into Macy's and going in for one thing, but finding something 50% off and scooping something else up. But those deals are few and far between nowadays.
You know what's weird in my house? So I have kids. I've talked about that in the past. They don't even want to go to malls anymore. They just say, I'm going to order it from Amazon. I'm going to get it online. If I order it now, it'll be here tomorrow. And I thought, wow, things have changed so dramatically. It's not a place where people hang out anymore. I was going to say older people, but it's true. You might go walk inside the mall, get your steps in, right? That happens. And as you pointed out, Nick, get out of the air conditioning or get into the air conditioning. But Chauncey, what can we do to bring people back to the mall?
That mall needs to put a bowling alley in and some type of fun arcade. That old Sears building's 3 stories. Make it something fun. I could also see a church going inside of that mall. There's plenty enough space now that I guess Macy's backstage is leaving. You're going to have to make it more dynamic. You're going to have to reach across multiple generations to keep them all interested. But my biggest thing is, I say, put a bowling alley like Moreno Valley has.
All right, no matter what you think of CVUSD, and we could go on forever about that, the kids in the district deserve a lot of praise. They and their parents have put up with things nobody should have to, and now one student is stepping up. While our district seems to be in constant turmoil, Coachella Valley High School senior Melanie Rodriguez, along with several others, saw a statewide injustice, and she and her legal team are leading a charge that could actually freeze $3 billion in statewide school funding. They just asked the judge to halt those monetization funds because they say the current system is rigged against lower income districts like CVUSD. Basically, the state requires schools to chip in 40% of the cost themselves, which is easy for wealthy areas, nearly impossible for agricultural communities. Melania is painting a pretty grim picture of classrooms hitting 85 degrees, roofs leaking. We've all seen the pictures of the classrooms filled with black mold. While weather districts gobble up the money for fancy upgrades, or I should say wealthier districts, it's a bold all or nothing move to force California to finally fix formulas many say has been unconstitutional for decades. Okay, so what were you doing at 17, Chauncey?
I was selling lawnmowers at Sears and Roebuck.
There you go.
My
What about you, Nick?
after school gig.
What about you,
He's
Nick?
selling lawnmowers.
Yes.
Touche. I don't have that. I think I was working in a doctor's office just trying to push paperwork, and then right after that at a pizza joint.
Okay, so here's a 17-year-old student trying to fight the state for education funds. Should the state lower or remove the requirement that districts pay a large share before receiving modernization funds? Nick.
I'm all for having to try to get them to put the money where it needs to go. I mean, I agree. It probably is a system that's imbalanced, and to change that, I think, like they were saying, I mean, if it's rigged, you're going against a mammoth of a funder like the government, and to take money and redistribute it, that sounds like an uphill battle to me. Chauncey?
Yeah, and I would also say I believe they probably get funding based off of the old saying, cheeks in the seats, and that's why attendance is so important. And unfortunately, in communities like agricultural communities where some of the kids have to go to work, you got to decide, do you put food on the table or go to school? So it's not just what's happening inside of the classrooms. I think it's a community piece that needs to be addressed as well. But with that being said, the state needs to cough up some more bucks to help some of these lower end communities get the same type of services, maybe more of the wealthier communities.
Yeah, there should be a way to make sure funds go to the districts that truly need an upgrade. That's what I think we're saying here. If a school district needs money, that's where the funds should go, not getting cappuccino makers for the teacher's lounge in the better schools. You know what I mean, Nick?
I mean, I love a good cappuccino, don't get me wrong, but yes, I think the education of the children may be a little more important than a fine coffee in the teacher's lounge.
So very good job to our student. But CVUSD is still doing things the only way CVSD seems to know how. Yesterday we told you about the district avoiding a free state's forensic audit and then possibly pay a company $25,000 for a forensic audit of 2 of the district elementary schools. We're calling this CVUSD logic from now on. Why get something for free when you can use money you don't have to pay for it? The state audit vote was 1 short. That's why CVUSD got out from under it. One of those no votes belonged to California State Senator Sabrina Cervantes.
Does not compute.
Couple of questions for the senator. Seems her dad was mayor of Coachella at one time. Does that seem like a conflict of interest or a reason to vote no on the audit? Could there have been things the mayor didn't want the state to look into? We don't know. We're just asking questions here. And here's something we found really interesting. At the same audit meeting where Coachella dodged an audit by that 1 vote, Cervantes herself requested and got an audit of the Riverside Unified School District, RUSD, STEM Education Center, saying, I requested this audit to ensure that RUSD is complying with state transparency laws and upholding the public trust regarding the STEM Center. So once again, just asking questions here. Why does RUSD need to have a forensic audit to prove they are complying with state transparency laws and to uphold the public trust, but you don't feel you needed to have the same thing from CVUSD? It's kind of strange, don't you think? Seems unfair to me to get transparency from one district and not the other. And 1 vote would have been all it took to get that transparency. Unless, again, you don't want that kind of transparency coming to light at CVUSD.
Does not compute.
Final thing, we're going to show you a website. That's the website for the California State Assembly Joint Committee on Legislative Audits. If you think it's way past time that CVUSD had a state-run forensic audit that could really cause change, head to that website. Write these committee members. Let them know how you feel about it. Because they have a meeting coming up on March 24th. They have another meeting on August 11th. We don't know if Representative Gonzalez is going to try and get the audit going again, but perhaps if other members of the committee hear from you, something will happen. You never know unless you try, and I think it's well past the time that something is done. Feel safe when you get into an Uber? Uber's taken a huge step with a new nationwide feature that allows women and teen riders specifically to request a female driver. It's called Women Preferences, and it's a direct response to years of feedback from riders who say they just feel more comfortable and in control with a woman behind the wheel. The feature's rolling out across major cities right now, but Uber is being upfront that opting for a female driver might mean waiting a little longer for your ride to show up. Many are cheering this as a win for safety, especially following some massive sexual assault lawsuits against the company. But not everybody is safe. A group of male drivers has actually filed a lawsuit claiming this new policy is discriminatory and unfair to the 80% of drivers who happen to be men. Chauncey, what do you think?
I like the new law or rule that they're looking to institute. I think if I was an Uber driver and I was a male and I picked up a female who was a little intoxicated, I would feel a little uncomfortable. You never know what could happen down the road. So I totally support women coming out of bars, particularly late at night, having the ability to have a female driver to feel a little bit safer, especially with some girls in my household. Nick, I know you have some girls too. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, they call it discriminatory or unfair. I don't care. All right. If I want to call up a woman to drive me, then I'm getting that option. And there's no reason to try to say that we need to equalize that.
Oh, if that's the case, then how do you balance, if you're a company, safety concerns with questions about fairness when companies introduce gender-specific options, Nick?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you're going to get other rides, and these men who aren't getting called, well, maybe you need to work on your driving skills in your bedside or cab side manner, because they're looking for a service. I think you should be able to select your service. Chauncey?
Nope. When you're a paying customer, you get to decide which way you want to go and what services you want. And like Nick said, there's plenty of males that are going to be out there wanting to ride. And there's going to be some people who don't care. They just want to get home. So for the small percentage, probably that's going to want a gender-specific ride. They're fine. Let them have their way.
All right, so if that's the case, should men be able to choose a male driver? Should it go both ways, Chauncey?
Yep. If we're going to choose that for women, it has to be the same for men.
Nick, you agree?
Yeah, why not? I love a good driver. If I'm comfortable, can I get a redhead? Can I get a redheaded man to drive me? Not a real, like a right in the pocket in the car.
Yeah, that might take a while, though, to find specifically a redheaded driver, right? I'll be there in 38 hours. I mean, I got to be honest with you, Nick. I've been in a lot of Ubers. I've never seen a redheaded driver.
I need to start driving. That's going to be big money, big money. I'm starting that up.
All right, no matter who you choose to drive you, always be a good neighbor. Jim Palm Desert needs some pesky trees trimmed. He's looking for a stand-out arborist who has a bucket lift and can haul debris away. Pamela Palm Springs looking for trays of amazing mini burritos. Can anybody recommend a Mexican restaurant she can hire? Terry Rancho Mirage, ringing the town bell, looks like Papa Dan's in Palm Desert has finally set a reopening date. Check them out this Monday. Back in Palm Desert, Michael is looking for a little refresh. He's wondering if anybody can recommend a good Botox place.
This show is for everyone, especially people that don't watch it.
Does that make sense? Please make sense of the show.
Find Fred on Facebook and Instagram at Fred Roggin or email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
Down south, they say hotter than a June bride in a basement. Bless your heart. The United States is a big country. A lot of accents, some which are sexy, apparently. Others, wildly unsexy. So how do you determine this? Well, if you're the folks at language learning platform Babbel, you round up a couple of thousand folks, start asking them which accents get them going. Last month, they revealed the findings, and it turns out that Southerners are some sexy talking SOBs. People like Southern accents, and it would seem at least some people get turned on by them, y'all. After this, I was pretty shocked. What a win for Louisiana Cajun English. I didn't see that one coming, but I think the Frenchiness of it put them over the edge. It's got that Pepe Le Pew factor. But the real issues with this list come toward the bottom. All parties should be happy with where they finished, unless they finished below Boston, New England, in which case I'd be pissed. Okay, guys, now it's your turn. Let's pretend neither one of you are married. You're in a bar, and there she is, the one. Give us your best pickup line and do it and your sexiest accent? Nick, you want to start?
Nick,
Well,
you go.
Newton, I'll tell you this right here. I don't know a lot about you right now, but I'm fitting to find out. And I just opened that seat's open next to you.
Okay. Chauncey?
Oh, God. Let's see. I reckon it's about dinner time, and I think it's time for you and I to go eat. I don't know. I guess I'm just lucky I married someone that was pretty easygoing, I guess. My pickup lines are for the birds.
You reckon it's dinner time?
I think
Listen,
Chauncey
I
just
tried.
took us back to the prairie right there. He was going to get us in there. Everyone's making their own clothes in his house.
When you hear people talk, so people always say to me, I'm from the East Coast, but I'm not from the East Coast. I was born in Detroit. I guess it's kind of East. Are there accents you hear? Can you figure out where people are from just walking around on the street, Chauncey?
I can tell when someone's from Minnesota, mainly that Minnesota, Wisconsin area. We have a lot of snowbirds that come down, and I kind of pick up on that right away. Of course, our Canadians, the Bostonians. I think it's the folks from Florida and Florida, Texas, and or Texas you can get, but some of those southern states you're not sure exactly where they're from.
Nick, can you really tell an accent when you hear it?
I would have to agree with Chauncey. I mean, that Minnesota, Michigan flavor, I mean, that's something special. There was a cartoon called Bobby's World back in the day, and they just nailed it. It was a mom just sounded exactly like she was from Michigan and Minnesota.
You think people from California have any kind of accent?
We got the Valley, right? The Valley girl. We say like 900 times in one sentence. I mean, I think that's the California flavor.
What do you think, Chauncey? Yeah, no?
I think we got northern, southern, western, all parts of California. Just depends on where you're at. So we're a huge melting pot, and we'll take anything, I guess.
Indeed. Stirring the pot, or just reporting the facts. Looks like the self-deportation sign and questions surrounding it are a hot topic. Once again, we want to be clear. The airport, PSP, is in no way responsible for the sign. It's a federal sign posted in an area run by the feds. So if you want to talk about it, reach out to the federal government. Our contributors yesterday didn't hold back about how they felt.
I think that, this is a ridiculous thing that, again, it's targeted at the wrong people. It's in the wrong space for them to even see that messaging. It's just a waste of money, and it's political grandstanding.
I'm so tired of this shit show of a thing that's going on with immigrants. Airports are supposed to be welcoming. We're supposed to welcome people. And I agree with you. It is in the wrong place anyway. It shouldn't be anywhere, by the way. But, these federal agents joined the law enforcement efforts because they wanted to get the worst of the worst. And, what are we going after? Dishwashers and, waitresses and gardeners and poolmen. I mean, it's crazy. I hate it. I don't like it.
Tough subject. And in our current state of political divide, can we call it a divide? It's more like a chasm.
Good job. Please stop it. Perfect.
Yeah, you expect the online reaction to our topic, and the news covering this was very strong, fiery, and decidedly mixed. It's a good idea. If you entered illegally, simply self-deport and apply to enter legally. It's pretty simple. Nothing offensive about that. This is just trolling virtually everyone flying and going through TSA lines, as documented. Can we pay MAGA to move to a different country? Cheaper than arresting and deporting. Some uneducated and racist comments. Other local residents are absolutely tearing into each other. You got one side calling the signs racist and predatory, especially since they're primarily in Spanish, while others are cheering them on as a bravo moment for law enforcement. There's also a massive amount of confusion and debate over whether undocumented people are even in the security line to see the signs in the first place. It's messy. It's an unfiltered look at just how divided the desert is on the new federal immigration tactics.
Good job. Please stop it. Perfect.
Okay, we know where we stand. Well, the Riddler will share that with us next.
Riddle me this. I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?
From Palm Springs to Indio to La Quinta, is anyone watching in Indio?
Whatever you're watching, tell us what you think. Find Fred on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fred Roggin. You can also email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I? A map.
All right, take a second now. Think back to when the biggest classroom distraction was just passing notes. Well, a new study shows today's teens are basically digital ghosts during the school day. Students are now checking socials hundreds of times a day, and researchers warn this constant ping and scroll cycle actually rewiring how they socialize. Teachers say real-life conversations are starting to feel awkward or boring to kids, while the phantom vibration of notifications makes it impossible for them to focus on the person sitting right next to them. Schools are now facing a massive crossroads: ban the tech entirely or try to teach a new generation. I'll tell you, that's why schools in California are trying to ban cell phones. Okay, well, remember, our phone is working 24/7. Go to the website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Click on programs. Click on the Roggin Report. Our content from tonight's show will be up there. Our content from past episodes as well. Appreciate you watching. Have a pleasant evening. Wheel of Fortune is next.